this point in the book. She says, look, we are meaning-seeking animals. We just can't be content with living and hunting and recreating, that we're looking for something deeper. And in many ways, that's the kind of agenda I'm beginning to think about this morning. What I'm going to suggest to you is that here is a way of thinking that I found helpful, and I'm kind of way throwing this at you in case you find this helpful as well. When I was a scientist, one of the things I discovered is that science develops different research methods, different ways of investigating our world, depending on the kind of topic that you want to look at. So a physicist might do it this way, a biologist might do it that way, but they're all doing science. It's just that the area of science means that we use slightly different ways. That basically science cannot make the transition from this is the way things are to this is the way things ought to be. In other words, science really can help us think about ethics. It can inform our thinking, but nevertheless it's not going to give us answers to questions like what is right and what is wrong. Now that's really interesting as far as I'm concerned, because it raises this question. Science isn't able to really deal with ethical questions. So what happens if you are a scientist and you want to think about ethical questions? Does the fact that ethics works in one way and science in another way mean that science is incompatible with ethics? Well, no. It just means that you use this method in science, use different methods in ethics, but there are scientists, as we all know, who are passionately committed to ethical questions.
And therefore I think we have to talk about science and religion being complementary, recognizing they are not the same. They are actually coming at things from different angles, from different starting points, even though they may find they are able to have an extremely profitable dialogue at some point along that road. So I think the language of being complementary rather than integrated actually is quite helpful, because it is saying that, for example, the scientist who is also a believer can be a scientist, a proper scientist, one who is fully paid up member of the guild, taken with the greatest respect by other scientists, but at the same time, without losing his identity of a scientist, be an active Christian believer, and again, with the greatest interest and respect about the gospel illuminating the entire intellectual landscape, and thus making it possible to be an intellectually fulfilled scientist, as indeed others.